I'm a biker, true and proud, ride an iron horse that's free and wild. A biker, true and proud, admitting I'm scared is not allowed. May not look so mean and tough, but let me tell you so, I'm no powder puff. What it takes to ride, well, I got the stuff. I got what it takes to ride. Got what it takes to ride. Got what it takes to ride. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to It's Never Too Late, where we believe it's never too late to live your dreams, to start something new, and to have some fun.
You might wonder why I'm smiling. I'm thinking about the weather getting warmer and us getting on our bikes and riding again.
Oh, I am looking forward to that. Yes.
Sometimes the winter feels very long.
Yeah, and now that we're in the Mohawk Valley, winters are actually a little bit longer than usual. But we're getting used to it. We're doing some riding and getting a lot of stuff done indoors. So last week, when we left off, we were on our cross-country honeymoon, and we were at Monument Valley. And I have to put up another picture because that's one of my favorite pictures that we took. And
that's left mitten right there.
Left mitten and right mitten in the back.
Yep.
And then the other big one there. And if it looks familiar, it's because almost every single John Wayne movie was filmed in Monument Valley. And it's on a Navajo reservation. It's a red sand desert. And some of the movies, one of the movies that was made there.
Oh, yeah.
Which one?
All movie.
No.
Oh, we didn't make a movie yet. Oh,
not yet.
okay,
Not yet.
right.
That's coming up. TV show first. Come on. You know the one. It was shown on the wall of the outside. We watched it at night.
Oh,
You
what, you don't remember?
forgot. Oh, Stagecoach.
Stagecoach. Oh,
And
yeah.
Fort Apache, The Searchers, Billy the Kid, My Darling Clementine with Henry Fonda, which is a cool old movie, and she wore a yellow ribbon. So a lot of John Wayne movies, and there were a lot more than that, but those are the ones I think most people are familiar with.
Don't you guys love when your wife puts you on the spot like that? Isn't that great?
You're supposed to know that.
Oh, yeah. Phew,
Oh, yeah, it's black and white movies.
Hey, do I know our anniversary? Well, boy, did I open a can of worms. July 12th. All right, I know.
All right.
I even know her birthday. Jeez.
I'm telling you, he's good. He's good. He's really good. Yeah. The Monument Valley is something you really have to see. We didn't know about it or what it was called until we actually stumbled upon it. So America is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. We're going to show you some more pictures of things we discovered along the way on our trip 5 years ago. We're married 5 years.
Oh, look at the longhorn sheep.
Wow.
Yeah.
These are some of the animals we came in across when we were on our trip. This was in the beginning of the Badlands. Those are longhorn sheep. Right?
Yep.
Longhorn sheep. They're when you first come into the Badlands, we saw a whole bunch of them hanging around. They're amazing to see because you see them in pictures. But if you're from the East Coast like we are, it's not something you see every day. And this is a prairie dog.
And she had to go home with one. So I said, what are you, crazy? Luckily, they had one in the store.
Yeah, so I brought one home with me. See, isn't he cute, the little prairie dog? That's my prairie dog.
Things that make them happy.
All right, do you remember where we saw the prairie dog?
Yes, that was around the Badlands, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And particularly, Bob took us.
Oh, on that dirt road.
It wasn't dirt, it was gravel.
It was like a washboard.
It was like washboard gravel. And the bikes just went nuts, up and down, up and down,
Oh, that's my favorite horse.
And these are the wild Mustangs. When we went further on, we found a place.
On the way to Devil's Canyon, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we found a place, and this was the only time I got to lead. And I went into this little tourist thing, and they had brochures on where you could go to see the wild Mustangs, and he wanted to see them. So I followed the map, and I brought us up there, and I think it was Dead Horse Canyon. And on the way, we saw these beautiful wild Mustangs. There aren't a lot left these days, but that's those are some of the wild Mustangs that we saw. And then that you don't want to see rattlesnakes, but those are some of the signs that you see in certain places, even where there are a lot of tourists, and you have to kind of listen for that little rattle that you definitely don't want to hear.
And we didn't hear that.
And we didn't hear that. Where was
The
this?
mules, that was in Custer Park.
Custer Park, Custer State National Park. And they had some animals that you could go up and pet and feed. And that's our friend Bob who came with us. Oh, tell them about the bison. Tell them about the bison.
They're running wild all over the place. And when they're on the road and they're close to you, you could feel the ground shake. They're amazing.
I think we told you when Bob was leading, I was in the middle and Curtis was behind me on our motorcycles. And that group of bison started to come up to us. They're walking on the road and they're coming by us. And I said, Bob, okay, I got my picture. Let's go. And he wasn't going. There were cars in front of us. And I said, Bob, you got to go. And they were right behind us, right on top of us. The noses dripping on them, and you could almost smell their breath. And they're pretty scary creatures. They're like 2,000 pounds at least.
Oh yeah, sure.
They're huge.
They weigh as much as a car.
Yeah, when you see them up close and personal, they're really huge. Those were some of the animals that we saw.
Custer Park's a place you got to see. And then there's 1880 Town. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I love this sign here. Gives you the elevation, not too high. Population, 170 ghosts, 9 cats, 3 dogs. And look at the rabbits. They keep crossing it off, and it's up to 3,300. I just thought the sign was really cute. They make a lot of movies in this 1880 Town. They told us when we were there, I think they did part of Dances with Wolves there.
Yeah, yeah.
And there were a bunch of other movies that were made there. It's all authentic. They put it together a number of years ago.
That's where I had the sarsaparilla.
That's where you had the sarsaparilla.
Uh-huh.
They had the saloon, and they have live entertainment, which is fantastic because you really feel like you're in Miss Kitty's saloon in Gunsmoke, and you're listening to the music, and it's even authentic music. A lot of it from that age, they play that music. And that is the town. And you see in the background, there's a church on either side. They had like a blacksmith. They had, the Emporium. They had a bunch of others, the post office, and a lot of the stores you could go into.
They had a rail station there too.
They had a rail station, and you could go in, and everything there was authentic. The 2 guys that bought it and owned it, they moved some of the barns and the things over to this piece of property, and
including the trains. And a lot of the things you'd find inside, like at the postmaster's office, you would see everything authentic, and they did their best to keep it that way, except they didn't have live horses there. They had these fake horses, but you could go and you went into where the stables were, and it was really cool. And we were actually allowed to go into the church, and that's the inside of the church. I thought it was lovely. It would just had such an old-time feeling, like you're on Little House on the Prairie. It was really sweet. It was a Catholic church. We're Catholic. And it reminds me that on our trips, we always try to go to church on Sunday. We can't always do it in certain, we were in Utah, and I looked, the closest Catholic church was 100 miles behind us. So there's sometimes it's just not practicable to go, but we do try to go. And one time we went in New Mexico. Yes, I remember that.
And
they asked if there was any visitors. So we raised our hands. And everybody in the place applauded. Hey, welcome.
Where are you from? They had to stand up. Where are you from? We're from New York. And after Mass, we came out, and everybody in the parking lot, because we were in our riding gear, they came up. They waited by our bikes. They were saying hello, welcome.
This country is filled with some beautiful people. I mean, really, really nice people. We didn't meet in 6 weeks. We didn't meet not one person that we didn't like. Well, didn't like us. Well,
it's true.
At least they faked it anyway.
It's true. You hear that there's so much discord, there's not. Most people are all pretty much on the same page and loving, and they want what everybody else wants. It was really nice to see that. I really enjoyed that. And some of the other things that we saw, that is also in Custer National Park. It's way high up, over 9,000 feet up. This is Vista Point, and you can see a picture of the kinds of roads that we would take to get up to places like this in one of the next pictures. Nope, not that one. I thought there was another picture of the road going up there. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the road going up to Custer State Park. You can kind of see like a little squiggly white line and the mountains in the background. And that's what we would ride. And we were there in August. And if you look at those mountains,
you will see there's still snow on those mountains.
Second week of August.
Second week of August, and some roads actually, we last week we were telling you Beartooth Pass actually had to be closed for 2 weeks before we got there because of snow in August. So I'm not complaining about the Mohawk Valley anymore. No, it's okay. I'll take the Mohawk Valley. And this was two little critters that came by, two little chipmunks, and we bought in the snack shop there. We bought some seeds, and they were sweet. Ordinarily, I don't touch wild animals, but they were just so cute. I couldn't resist. And somebody else was feeding them, so I figured they were okay. They were sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't. Oh, yeah, he doesn't like chipmunks. Why don't you like chipmunks?
They get into everything. They make a mess.
They do.
Yeah.
And we have them around our home, and they're like mice. They get into things and they chew things like wires.
All
And
right. I know that.
so he doesn't like chipmunks. So we can't talk about chipmunks.
But they are pretty looking.
They're cute. They're really cute.
Nice little coat on them. Look at that, the stripes. Mother Nature's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's sweet. So we saw some cool animals along the way, and we were telling you before about the washboard gravel road that we ended up on when we saw the prairie dog. This is a dirt road. We were on our own at this point because Bob had to go home after 3 weeks. But these are a kind of some of the roads that we ride on are dirt and gravel, and the one that we were on with Bob in the Badlands, the washboard gravel, was 26 miles long, and it was the first day we put the GoPro camera on my bike.
Yeah, that didn't last long.
And the second we got on it, it shook the bike so much that it snapped off, and we never got to use it. But this dirt road along I think that was the Colorado River, was just some of the roads that we ride on. And if you remember last week, I showed you the new chaps that I bought in Sturgis, and they were just so shiny new. Well, that was them after maybe a week on the road.
You got them just in time.
And even my boots, you can see that my boots were just a mess.
Just think how clean your pants are under that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, but it's fun. I mean, they kind of tell a story all by themselves when you look at the dirt, miles and miles of dirt. And we did 10,000 miles that trip.
Yep.
Yeah, 10,000 miles that trip, and we've actually done over 100,000 miles together on two wheels side by side. It's been wonderful, and we can't wait to get back on
It's
the
a
road.
journey.
Yeah.
You guys got to come out and take that journey with
like
us.
we had told you, we're hoping that we get to take you on a trip, and instead of just sitting and showing you pictures from past trips, to take the trip with us.
Oh, we got a lot more past trips to share.
Oh,
with you,
we do. We've got lots to show you.
Every anniversary you went somewhere. So.
We're going to take one thing a little out of order on the honeymoon, because I want to show this music video we didn't get to last week. And it's when we went to the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, yeah.
All right, tell them
That
about
was a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew I always wanted to sing at the Grand Ole Opry. So when we were coming back and we were going through Tennessee, he said, listen, don't say anything, just follow me. I got to
Stay
play.
close, because
And-
we're going to go through some traffic, because I knew we were going through a city.
Right, around Nashville.
And then she started seeing the signs for Grand Ole Opry, so
And I knew
the
it.
cat was out of the bag.
Yeah, so we get there, and I was all excited because I wanted to see the stage, because I'm like, I'm going to sing there one day. I know I am. And we get there to go see a show.
Yep.
And the
We
woman,
were all ready to stay an extra night.
yep. And the woman said, there's no show tonight.
No show tonight.
Oh my gosh, I was brokenhearted. So I said to the woman, listen, is there any way I can just peek in? I just want to see the stage, because I'm going to be singing there one day, and I just have to see it. And she looked at me. She said, you can take a backstage tour, and you'll actually get to stand on the stage. Well, this was even better.
It was like a private tour. It was only us and one other woman.
Right.
And we got to stand right on the stage.
And of course, I couldn't resist. When I got on the stage, I said, wait a minute. I have to just sing a verse from one of my songs. So I could say I sang on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry. When we got back, I had all my notes and my diaries and everything. And that was the one thing I thought about that I really wanted to write a song about. So here's the song with the pictures from that day. You just saw a couple of them. And it's called Grand Ole Opry.
We rode him and me with honeymoon glee to a place that we
as we headed to old Tennessee. Just follow, he said, as he steered straight ahead, had a special surprise for me. With no care in the least, we headed due east and arrived at the Grand Ole Opry. I was thrilled at the sight, but with no show that night. The lady there saw my dismay. Can I see the inside? I asked rather wide-eyed, because I'll be singing up there one day. There was a dream, such a dream, just a staring at me, the stage on which I will be singing my songs. Yes, I know before long I'll be there at the Grand Ole Opry. The woman said, sure, take a backstage tour. You can even stand on the stage. Imagine me at the Grand Ole Opry, like the star that I'll be one day. Took as long as I could on the stage where I stood in that circle of wood in that space. In my head I was hearing the crowd loudly cheering as the spotlight shined on my face. Before I knew it, I was halfway through it, a verse from the songs that I write. Just a star at your service, though a little bit nervous. After all, this was my opening night. There was a dream, such a dream, just a staring at me, the stage on which I will be singing my songs. Yes, I know before long I'll be there at the Grand Ole Opry. I believed in my heart that I'll get my start, and all can come and see me singing my songs, 'cause I know I belong on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry. There was a dream, such a dream, just a staring at me, the stage on which I will be singing my songs. Yes, I know before long I'll be there at the great, yes, I know it's my fate, I'll be there at the Grand Ole Opry. I think that's my favorite song of all the songs I've written, because it just brings back such a wonderful memory. And it's also the theme of our TV show. It's my theme. It's never too late to live your dreams. We are, well, I'm 64, almost going to be 65. And this old man over here is going to be 60 in another 2 months. And we just feel that you can do it. It doesn't matter what. You can do it. You don't, and I think about times when I made decisions based on thinking I was too old, and I was 34, and I was making decisions saying, oh no, I'm too old to that. Oh, I'm too old. I can't have fun anymore because now things are serious. I'm not in school anymore. And it's not true. And we're here to tell you that. And that's the message of this show. And if there's nothing else you get out of this show, besides seeing that America's so beautiful, is that it is never too late to live your dreams.
If you could think it, you could do it.
That's right.
And if you notice that piece of wood, that big brown piece of wood that they had in the video, that was a round piece cut out of the original floor of the Grand Ole Opry. We actually stood on that because that is in the new Grand Ole Opry where we were. And all the performers get to stand on that particular piece of wood.
Yeah, that's right, where the microphone is. And
It's
we're
right
standing on it there when they took that picture of us at the end. It was an amazing experience. It was living my dream. I find that a lot of times, that I wrote the song after the fact, but I find sometimes when I write a song about a dream, by the time I record it,
the dream has come true. And that's true
That's
of a
happened a few times.
yeah, it's true of a song. Maybe we'll play it next week. It's called Riding 9 to 5. And when we were going out and I was sitting in the office typing, all we could think about was one day riding our bikes cross country. We had no idea how it was going to happen, how we'd get the money, how we'd get the time. We just kept seeing it. I had pictures of it. I drew pictures of it. I'd think of it all the time. I'd be typing and I'd be picturing the road. And sure enough, I wrote this song about dreaming about it and one day doing it. And by the time I recorded it, we had actually taken our trip. Yeah, we had taken the trip. It had come true. So dream boards do work, by the way. Put those pictures up, put them on your fridge, put them on your bed, your night table, because it does work. And especially when you feel great about thinking about it. So I guess we will take you back to our trip to show you some of the beautiful sights that we saw. That is one of the rivers. We were in Colorado at this point. I had found a road on the map called Route 65, and we followed this magnificent.
Oh, is that the one that took us up on that mountain?
Yeah.
Oh, wait till you see what's
we
up there.
found out we were in a park called Grand Mesa, and the ride up the mountain was so beautiful. You wanted to just turn and stop and take pictures, but some of the turns, there was no really good place to stop to take them. The view is extraordinary as you're riding up to the top of this mountain. It's called Grand Mesa. It's in Colorado. We found out after the fact, when I looked it up after we came home, that it is the largest flat top mountain in the entire world. And that's on the top.
Look at that lake. All different shades of blue and turquoise and green. We never expected to see that up on top of this mountain. It was absolutely stunning.
For as good as your camera is with colors, it just could not capture the aqua, the emerald. We called it Emerald Lake when we got up there because that's what it looked like. That top of that mountain is 500 square miles. It's enormous. And it's the largest mesa in the U.S. A mesa, if you remember from high school Spanish, mesa means table. So when you see a lot of the pictures out west, you see these flat top mountains, and they call them mesas because they look like tables. And that's exactly what this is. It's a flat top mountain. And that was probably the most beautiful piece of water I've ever seen. And I've been in the Caribbean, but that was absolutely extraordinary, the colors. And the picture doesn't do it justice. But that's in Colorado. And we discovered that along the way. We never knew about it.
Where was Jacob's chair?
Remember that stone house we found?
Yes.
That little stone house that 14 people lived in, and it was somewhere along there. It was somewhere along that road, that same road. Jacob's chair. It's a formation on the top of a mesa, and it looks like a chair. And I forget why they named it Jacob's chair. I don't know if it's Jacob from the Bible or what, but that's where that was.
That was pretty
I'll see if
amazing.
I can find a picture of it. I didn't find it when I looked. So now we're going to Moab, Utah, and it was kind of in this area that you're talking about, Jacob's chair. And they had all kinds of weird formations. They had one, see that rock balancing, that balancing rock? They actually had one look like an egg that they didn't even know how it was standing on end. These are some of the formations that you'll find in Moab.
All natural, dude. It's just unbelievable.
This is in Arches National Park. And if you look at that arch, it may look familiar. And that's because on every Utah license plate, if you ever see one, that's the arch that's on the Utah license plate. That's what they're known for.
That's a long way off the road. It's a long walk.
Yeah.
So be prepared.
We did not walk to it. It was, I think, a couple of miles. So we just took a picture. We zoomed in and took a picture from the road.
Stop telling all the secrets.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. You can see it. And there are two ways you can see one side and the other side. And we just said, okay, fine. We saw it. We'll take a picture and we're not going to walk the mile. We had other things to see. I think we have, that's part of the formations there. You can see that's Curtis in the bottom. And that's how large some of these formations are. And we did walk up to one arch, and I got a picture. I think it was called Sunlight Arch. I don't remember the exact name of it, but that arch we did get up close and personal to. We even got closer than that. But I wanted to put in the picture with my hubby, so I used that one because he looks so cute. You see his beard? We told you he didn't shave from the day we left on the trip. So you can tell we're getting close to the end of the trip. That's like 5 weeks. That's like 5 or 6 weeks of beard. I think it was 5 weeks of beard at that point. So that's our show for tonight. And we've got lots more to tell you next week when we come back. And we're so glad you joined us. God bless. Take care. And we'll see you next week.
And don't forget to dream.
Dream
big.
big.
If you think it,
You
can
can
do
do
it.
it.
and it's never too
There was a dream, such a dream, just a staring at me, the stage on which I will be singing my songs. Yes, I know before